Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Nikke Goddess of Victory video. So we got Mast and Anchor, the maid variant. So let's talk a little bit more about both of them. So honestly, I was quite surprised with the results. After testing them for several hours, I can confidently say that these two probably are going to be one of the best Burst 2 character right now in the game. Alright, are they better than Crown? Yes, in some situation, they are actually better than Crown by quite a lot. Alright, so that is going to depend on what kind of team we are bringing in specifically. So let's talk a little bit more about this. Alright, we're gonna give you guys a better idea in terms of both Mast and also Anchor Innocent Maid right here. Alright, so both of them, you need to use them in a duo sadly. So if you pull one of them, you sort of need the other one to work. You can't really use them individually. So let's talk about it. It's time for Lolly, Anchor, Innocent Maid, Starfish Lover. Alright, Starfish Lover. So let's see if we get this. Can I one-tap this? Okay, I can't one-tap this. There's life. Not every time you get to one-tap. Elysian. No fake out. Okay, that's 20 pulls. Yo, Masaru, thanks for becoming a member. 30, alright? 30 pulls. Okay, what is happening, guys? Okay. Okay, will this be it though? Will this be it? Alright. Elysian? Okay, there's hope, there's hope. Yes! Okay. Just stop right now. Alright. Elysian. Okay, so luckily didn't spend too much on that. Now, initially I was a bit worried that the buff from the Mast or Anchor basically, right? So what she's gonna do is she's gonna prevent the debuff on Mast to basically so if you guys are not aware, Mast get this drunken debuff going on. So this particular one, right, a Pirate's Heart. You want this to reach 3 stacks, and Anchor is going to be able to reduce that to 2 stacks. Once it reaches 3 stacks, if it remains too long, the duration ends, it's going to stun Mast herself. So Anchor is there to prevent that from happening. So that is Anchor's purpose, and also Anchor will be able to simultaneously buff according to Mast because both of them are 40 seconds burst 2. So you sort of need the other one. If you only have one, then it's not going to be enough. So let's show you guys right here, right after this when my Mast buff. Okay, so right now I'm about to burst, but before that, let's double check. So you can see I got 2 stacks of this thing, Pirate's Heart. Okay, if I burst here, I will get the 3 stacks soon. Okay, so for a short period, you can see very short period, I managed to get 3 stacks. So these 3 stacks will be taken into calculation to basically multiply with Mast's debuff. So you guys don't have to worry, because I think a lot of players were worried that they see 2, they don't really see 3, but the 3 only occurs for a very short while. You can see right here, for her second buff, she's gonna have this particular one where this repeated damage multiply the number of drunken stacks. That means it's going to be times 3 instead of times 2. Same goes for reload speed, 15% multiplied by number of drunken stacks for 10 seconds. So it's going to be 15 times 3, right? 45%. So we can double check this and basically look at the other character. Let's see the Pirate's Spirit right here. You can see reload speed is 45%. You can also double check on her burst skill, right? You can see this particular burst skill, she basically will give attack increased by 20% times number of drunken stacks, in this case 3. So 20 times 3 should be 60%. Alright, so therefore you can check this with other characters and let's see, is it 60% there? Pirate's Romance 60%, and you can see it lasts for 10 seconds. So the buff do in that work, but it disappears very fast. You can see just now was just 3 stacks, now it goes back to 2 stacks because Anchor is going to basically constantly remove that, right? So for those of you who are not aware, Anchor's ability, very unique, right? She has this ability right here on her skill 1 where the stack count of debuffs reduced by 1. So that's how she prevents Mast from always having that, you know, it's just a perfectly synergized character that you gotta use them together. If you take out one or the other, it's just, I think this duo is just gonna fall apart, but they are very strong when together. So in terms of their buffs overall, they are pretty insane. Alright, let's show you guys some of the results so far. Okay, so this is the first screenshot that I tested in the firing range. So hopefully you guys get a better idea. So Lita is going to always be there. I put her together with Scarlet Black Shadow and Rapi Red Hood. So test these two characters. Now keep in mind Scarlet Black Shadow has distributed damage. So they do have buff to distributed damage. So very good synergy right there. You can see the SBS buff is insane, right? 708 million right here. So Mars and Anchor right here. So I compare them to Crown and Naga. Now Crown and Naga is still going to be stronger. Alright, Crown and Naga is by far the best duo. If you can only pick one for campaign, Crown and Naga should be the one to go to. You can see this is like 1.8 billion. And then you can see we have Rapi Red Hood there doing way more. Scarlet Black Shadow doing way less because again we don't have the distributed damage buff. But however, when I take out Naga, so now you can start seeing I put Alice right here. Okay, so we are doing, in this particular one, we are starting to do less, alright? However, Alice is on auto, so she doesn't burst, she's there to support my SBS. But still, because you have Crown, you have the flexibility to basically, right, use whatever character that you want in this particular slot. So you can see 1.5 billion, this is also 1.5 billion. So it's almost pretty good right there. And last one, we got Lita, Crown, SBS, Red Hood, and Modernia. Alright, Modernia is going to be there. So again, this one is 1.5, this is 1.6. So here's the thing, right? Against Crown, alright, I think Crown is still going to be the best character moving forward. However, where they shine is going to be against everyone else. So this is one testing that I've done with all the other Burst 2 characters in the game. Alright, so right now we got Crown, we got Grave, we got Tia Naga, we got Blanc and Noah. So how's the ranking so far, right? If you see right here, so I'm testing this with Red Hood and Ludmilla Winter. So you can see in this particular one, Mars and Anchor get 1.2 billion. Alright, and then I put in Tia and Naga. So we got less right here. Alright, 1.12 billion with Tia and Naga. And then Blanc and Noah only gives us 988 million for this particular one. And then I tried Grave buff Red Hood because of the Pierce. Alright, so therefore you can see Red Hood suddenly get a big surge of jump right there for the number, even more than the Mast and Anchor. So in a pure specific team, sure, Graves buffs are going to be insane, but even then, Ludmilla doesn't get the buff. You can see 333 because Mast and Anchor's buff are universal, so Ludmilla get way more right here, right, in the Winter Ludmilla sense. So in this particular testing, you can see we are beating out all the other teams, alright? Mars and Anchor combination or the duo is beating out Tia and Naga, beating out Blanc and Noir, beating out Grave. In this case, I put Rapunzel for the heal because Grave is not able to heal. That's the damage right there, right? The only team that Mars and Anchor cannot beat is going to be a Crown team. Alright, you can see with the Crown, I put Rapunzel there just to, you know, with Crown is quite flexible. You don't really need Rapunzel, you can put anyone. So 1, 2, 4, 5. Alright. However, it's really close. Alright, it is not really going to beat a Crown team, but you can see the numbers are really close. Is really impressive. Now, they are occasionally going to be able to beat out Crown teams, however. And when does that come? That is when you put a full distributed team. Alright, distributed damage team. In this case, you can see right here, I try to slot in Dorothy, I try to slot in Scarlet Black Shadow, and I also put Quincy Escape Queen. 3 characters that are able to do distributed damage. So this particular one, we got 1.6 billion with Mast and Anchor. Alright, straight up beating up a Crown team, Crown and Rapunzel here, 1.28 billion. And of course, the last one, this one is Crown and Naga. So even completely beating out Crown and Naga in a distributed team. So if you are having a full distributed team, for example, Scarlet Black Shadow, Quincy Escape Queen, and then a Dorothy, then I can see, you know, the value of Mars and Anchor is really high. Now, obviously, this is not going to have like super good synergy, alright? Scarlet Black Shadow, you want to use her with Alice, you ideally want to use her with either that or Mana, right? But for now, they look to have really good potential, right? Maybe in the future, once we get more distributed characters, because of how they buff the distributed damage, right? But we don't really have enough distributed damage characters for now to basically do the synergy. But obviously in the solo raids, that could change, right? That could be a different scenario that we can try and figure out. So I tested in the Cinderella team as well, just to see the consistency right here. So you can see if you have Rouge and Cinderella, alright, so let's say you have Rouge and Cinderella right here, alright, doesn't matter who you use here, Mast and Anchor gonna give you insane amount of damage. Alright, this is going to be the biggest number right here, alright, so you can see 1.5 billion. So over here I test with Blanc and Noah, alright, 1.3. I tested with Tia, Grave and Rapunzel, alright, so I got 1.2. And then last but not least, I tested with Tia and Naga, 1.3 in the Rouge Cinderella team. So even in the Cinderella team, their buffs is still better. Now obviously, like I mentioned, they are a little bit behind Crown right now, but the only time that they can actually beat Crown is if Scarlet Black Shadow is in there. Because Scarlet Black Shadow is going to be one of the strongest distributed damage character right now. She's pretty much consistent. So if she's in there and Mast and Anchor is buffing her, she gets like a huge jump, right? You can see without Mast and Anchor right here, this one is just Crown buffing. It's about 500 million right here, right? So you can see 500 million, but with Mast and Anchor, they basically buff her goes up to 708 million. So huge jump, right? So Scarlet Black Shadow ideally is, I feel like this might be her best team candidate right here. You put her together with Mast, Anchor. You cannot use Mana, however, because if you put Mana, Mana is going to apply the buff towards Anchor, because Mana can only apply the reload speed buff to one character. So that's going to be a little bit annoying, so you are forced to use Alice. So that is going to be something that players will have to figure out eventually, but that seems to be one of the better ones so far. So as you can see, in this particular team, we got Asuka. So Asuka is someone that specializes in Pierce, right? She is one of the few characters that has the Pierce advantage. Or like some characters can give her Pierce bonus. So let me see if I can show you guys right here. So it is going to be for this one, right? So Pierce boost is going to be very strong for her. And Grave, alright, is one of the few characters that specializes in giving Pierce. As you can see, Grave right here. But even then, with Grave, we still lose. Alright, this is 980 right here, right? I put Grave and Rapunzel. So Rapunzel is there for a healer, right? Because if you put Grave, there's no healer right here. Asuka can heal herself, but the others, you know, they still need to heal. But we still lose overall to Mast and Anchor. Alright, 1,000,1063. So this is just way better score. Mast Anchor is still, their buffs universal. Also, it works with 328, 365. Yeah, you can see right here, right? 328, their buff is still better because everything else, right? Reload speed, attack percent, those are still going to be better. And you can see Ludmilla almost never get any buff from Grave, only a little bit, but this one they get way more. So Mast and Anchor, I think, is going to be one of the most or second most universal buffer right now. Alright, so they are not only specializes in distributed damage, but they definitely specialize in just giving universal buffs. Almost every DPS needs reload speed. Almost every DPS needs attack percent. Distributed damage, sure, that's also their plus, but they just give way more, right? So my verdict after testing for like 6 hours, I don't know how many hours, actually it's just 3 hours, but yeah, Mast and Anchor very strong. Now should you pull for them? It depends. We got Evangelion character, the best collab is coming soon. So maybe you want to wait until the last day before you decide, right? Wait for Evangelion and see a little bit, alright? We can wait a little bit, we still have plenty of days. But for now, Mast and Anchor is actually the second best Burst 2 characters duo. Crown is still number 1, sadly, alright? I know a lot of people want to destroy Crown and want to be a Crown killer, but no, Crown killer is not happening anytime soon. So my rankings will be Crown number 1, then Mast Anchor number 2, number 3 is going to be Grave, depending, right? So Grave is needs a specific team, and Grave needs a healer as well. So if don't need healer, then Grave is actually number 3. But if not, Grave might be number 4, number 5. But we also got Tia and Naga. If the boss has call, it's going to be 3rd. And then Blanc and Noah last, or yeah, Blanc and Noah has the least priority right now, sadly. Now, is there a downside to using Mast and Anchor? Yes, there is. Number 1 is you need both of them, alright? a little bit difficult. Number 2 is it might be difficult to invest in 2 characters. Obviously, investing in Crown is still cheaper for a lot of players, right? If you don't have Crown, sure, you can get Mast and Anchor. But it is going to be quite expensive. Even for me right now, I'm like considering, do I need them right now, right? Because especially when it comes to skill books, you want to upgrade that to like you know, your skill level up materials is going to be quite rare. If you build Crown, you can easily 10 her and just focus on one character. So that's going to be one thing that you can consider. One more thing is way more expensive, right? If you are a free-to-play player, you need to get both, and you know, right now we are in between the Rappi Red Hood period and we're gonna have an Evangelion period coming later, the collaboration. So some players might consider saving. If you guys want to save, don't worry, you can wait for them later on. They will be added to the standard banner. Not sure when that is going to happen. So all in all, I am quite surprised by their performance, actually really happy with it as well. So we have better competition in the meta right now for the Burst 2 slot. It is going to be very, very interesting moving forward. With that being said, that's gonna be it for this particular video. Let me know what you guys think of both the Innocent Maid Anchor and the Romantic Maid Mast. Are you guys excited for them? Are you guys planning to pull them? I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe, give this video a like. Have a nice day. Goodbye.